Welcome back to See You in the AM. We're going to have today our only Q&A session for the week, so we'll make it a great one. I do want to just share with you guys a couple quick things before we get into the question. It's a great question and one that I know will have a big impact on anyone that is in sales, especially as we're coming into a very tough time for many people in sales, the end of the year where you're getting the call me at the beginning of the next year brush off. Before we get into that, I just wanted to just go over a couple different things. We have a contest running that's been posted on our Facebook page. It's only on Facebook. It is not available for anyone that's coming from LinkedIn or any other source. So if you're not a fan on Facebook of the company page, then you would not be able to participate in this contest. But it's a fun contest, creating a meme, on a picture of one of 4 pictures that were posted up there. Come up with whatever you like. We prefer, and that's part of the guidelines of the contest, that is tied to either this program, See You in the AM, the 4 C's, some aspect of the 4 C's. It could also be tied to our new program, Closer Connection. Anything that is related to what it is that we do, that we teach here, and I would love to see some really creative ideas. We're giving away a $100 gift card to Amazon. I don't care whether you're here in the States or you're overseas. I know some people that are watching the show are overseas. I believe, I'm not mistaken, that those can be sent overseas, via email. So, unless I'm wrong, that is how we're going to be operating. So, we also always like to take an opportunity to mention all the other things that are going on. I did mention a moment ago, Closer Connection. That's this Thursday. That's why I am not so upset that we're not going to do our Thursday Q&A, because we're going to have a full hour dedicated. Anyone that has any questions, come join us, and I will make sure that I do my best in addressing every one of those. That's through my personal page, not through the company page. You can find the links on this page here, Creating Closers page, so that way you know where to go and how to make sure you're notified. Other than that, absolutely check out the Closers blog. I've been putting up a lot of articles recently about goal setting, etc., time management, some really great things to be reading and supplementing and helping you to be a better closer and successful in life. So without further ado, let's get to a question. This came from Chelsea, an excellent question. I sort of let the cat out of the bag as far as what the question is going to be, but to read exactly what she wrote to me. I keep getting the quote-unquote, let's wait till after January 1st to start doing business, end quote, push off. How can I get these deals closed before the end of the year and not have to wait? That is, I would say, the million-dollar question, but probably even more valuable than that to many people, especially as people are many pushing to either finish their year strong and hit their numbers, hit their targets, exceeding those things, or if they've already been there, like we mentioned before, to pad their numbers and make it an excellent end to the year. So I chose this question to focus on the program because of that, the far-reaching nature of it for any of us in sales. So we're going to discuss 2 different aspects of it. The first one, in terms of what I would suggest, is not the best one, and I'd rather say the best for last. So the first option is you got to create urgency. And again, someone's telling you, hey, I'll wait until after the first, give me a call then, you got to give them a reason to buy now. So there is some, what I call, I don't want to say, like saying falsifying, but fluffing some urgency. For example, you could, create urgency in the fact the value might not be there next year. Price increase is coming. You have the straight out just availability takeaway, that this is not going to be available to you, whether the deal or the product or the service is not going to be available at that time. So you have things like that a lot of people in sales rely on. I don't love them because they become a crutch, and it all becomes more of a pressure tactic versus what really is the best method to create true urgency. When is someone feeling a need to buy? And that's what brings us to our second answer, which is really the preferred answer. When people feel that their needs are being met, they then are willing to say yes. So that's really what it comes down to. And this is not just for this time of year. This is a year-round approach. It's called flush the real objection. You got to find out why it is they're saying no. Waiting a couple of weeks, in this case now, before January 1, there's not a real reason. Like any company that does budgeting, let's just be realistic. I mean, they've done their budgeting, and wouldn't they rather have their advertising, if they're buying advertising, wouldn't they rather have their product they're going to be using for the new year all lined up prior to January 1? On an individual basis, I do understand that there's holidays, and I understand it's an expense time, but people are prepared for that. People put away money throughout the year. They plan so they can make sure that it's a good Christmas, a good holiday season, and take care of vacations, etc. So to say I have to wait, it's not like January 1st, all of a sudden, hey, everything happens. How many people get a bonus on January 1st? So again, it's really just a blow-off. So you've got to really flush what the real objection is. How are we going to do so is what we talked about many times in the past. Doing discovery. That is the primary means. There's a great, lead to a close or a flushing of an objection that a lot of people like to use, and I would absolutely recommend, which is like a 1 to 10 scale, where you ask somebody on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate, your excitement or engagement with this product? And typically people are going to say somewhere around 6 or 7, and then you just follow it up. But what's going to take to move you to a 10 today? Obviously, the key being today, and they're going to give you what the objection is. And when you have the objection, then you can do a little more discovery to understand it fully, and then go after that objection, meeting the need. There's many other avenues of how to do so, but the key thing that we should take away from here is what we call flushing the objection. If you don't know what the real concern is, then you cannot solve the problem. So you have to identify what that is, what's really holding them back, not just a date on the calendar. Once you've done that, Chelsea, you're much more likely to get them to say yes now. Because again, when someone feels their need is being met, there's no reason to wait. That's where urgency is created naturally, not by fluffing, or as we call it, any kind of like false urgency, based on things that may or may not be there. Let's meet their needs and solve their problems. That's the best thing that I can suggest to you in regards to this. But don't give up. Stay persistent. That's critical. We talked about that many times as well. Don't buy their bullshit. They're telling you wait. No, there's no reason to wait. You got to meet their needs, understand their needs, and then meet them. So to wrap things up, I have a quote, another thing that I like to say myself. I did that yesterday as well, going to do so now, and it's a nice short and sweet one. I know we've been going for a little while today, but this is a really important topic. I know a lot of people have, I'm sure, on their mind as they're wrapping up their years in whatever aspect of sales. So this is a quote that is directly related to what it is that we just mentioned here about discovery and identifying the real issue. And I tell people, you will continually get no, N-O, until you know. K-N-O-W. So work on the no, understanding the issues, solving the issues, and that's how you get people to move from the no, N-O, to a yes, Y-E-S. Have an awesome day, a successful day. Keep sending those questions in. Join us on Thursday. Ask them live. Looking forward to doing so. Have a great day. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. See you in the AM.